within the Republican Party, the highest poll numbers, I think it's, well, they have 90, they have 92, and they have 93%. The highest poll numbers ever. Is that crazy? I actually asked them. I said, did they do polling when honest Abe Lincoln was around? You know what? Nobody's been able to give me that answer, but I'm assuming they did, okay? So we can say we're beating honest Abe.
Well, they weren't doing landline polls back then, I can tell you that. But President Trump, he's making that argument last night in Indiana, saying, hey, look, my poll numbers with my own party, Republican voters, they are through the roof. And the president, the last 6 months, that's been one of the stories. Trump's approval rating with Republicans has been that high, and it's meant that his overall approval rating has been in the low to maybe even mid-40s, and that's not great. But Republicans have been saying, hey, if we can keep it around there, maybe a point or two higher, we got a shot at holding on to the House. So that has been the story. And then this morning, though, along comes this brand new poll, ABC News, Washington Post, the president's approval rating, you see it right there, just 36%, a 60% disapproval score. There are no Republicans out there telling you they think they can hang on to the House if Donald Trump's approval rating is at 36% or is anywhere near 36%. And the findings, as you might expect when you're talking 36% approval rating, look at this. Only 24% say they strongly approve of Trump's performance as president, more than double. Over 50%, an outright majority of voters in this poll saying they strongly disapprove of the president. So intensity there. It's not just being unpopular. It's having this kind of disparity in intensity. So much on the negative side, so little on the positive side. Again, that an ominous sign for Republicans, and of course this as well. The question of impeachment, the thing Democratic leaders say they don't want their candidates talking about. Should impeachment begin? A plurality in this poll say yes. 49 to 46%. So all of these, obviously, these would be close to catastrophic numbers for Republicans. The question, though, is this where things actually are in public opinion? Because what do we always say? There's one poll. It can be an outlier. If it's different than the trend, maybe it's not what's actually happening. Maybe it's an outlier. So here's the thing to keep in mind. This poll today has Trump at 36%. That's the wrong button. Here we go. Look at this. When all of the recent sort of uproar in politics really kicked up, think of that day. You had the Cohen plea. You had the Manafort convictions. Things really seemed to ratchet up to a new level then. New developments with Mueller. That day, the average of all the polls for Donald Trump's approval rating was 43.4%. Now, as of right now, even if you factor in this ABC News Washington Post poll, if you average all the polls together out there about Trump's approval rating, what do you get? 42.8. So you're not down at 36, 37, 38. You're 42.8. You're down 0.6 of a percentage point in the average since that news broke, if you want to think of that as a potential turning point. So it poses a question. This ABC News Washington Post poll with just brutal news for Republicans at the worst time, the home stretch of the fall campaign. Is that the start of a big drop? Are we going to see 2, 3, 4 more polls come out that show the same thing? Or is it an outlier? That is the big question heading into Labor Day weekend. Guess what? Labor Day weekend, we usually start to get a flurry of polls, folks setting the stage for the midterm. So I think we're going to get an answer. I think we're going to get an answer pretty fast. Is it going to be close to 42, 43% in the next wave of polls? Or is it going to be closer to what the Washington Post and ABC found today, down in the mid-30s? Big difference there when it comes to stakes for the midterm.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.